What is up, YouTube? Tally from Yugi Bros, and I figured I'd do a video on the deck I'm currently playing, which is Magicians. And from looking around trying to get like other ideas, I realized that everybody's deck profile for Magicians pretty much sucks. I mean, like, the deck is like, so for people who don't know, it's the structure deck, like Wisdom Eyes and all that other shit. People were playing in Pepe when it was before Pepe had a lot more cards that replaced it. And basically, it's a Pendulum deck that's liable besides Pepe, that lets you summon things between 3 to 7, because they have the 2 and 8 scales. They're searchable pendulums and other stuff like that. And like their effects are okay, they're a little mediocre, but like it lets you play weirder cards. So just like from playing it, play testing, I came up with like a couple weird things to play in it that like has been okay testing wise. Like playing at locals, I'd go like 3-1, and just like you can plug in a lot of really weird plays, a lot of really weird cards you normally would never play, just for the fact that it can summon it free. So it's more like it's a deck that just stops your opponent doing things. Like there's builds like the Magispector Magicians, where they rely on their little guys to search traps. And both builds I play is a little more aggressive because it's like I don't really want to wait on it, and it's it's really cool plays you can do. So I figured I'd show you guys how to play in different ways, and like maybe other options that people might enjoy playing, because like what got me the deck, what made me start liking it, was the fact that I started playing other weird things in it. So I'll go over it and I'll explain to you, like, in the deck there's the side engine is a flex spot. So that side engine, it can be replaced on like a couple different things. So you can play anything weird in it that you really want, and it'll kind of fit in there pretty okay depending on what you do. So I'll go over the profile, I'll explain some things I play and like what some of them do, yada yada, and then reasons why I play it. So I play like the typical like magician stuff. Like these are the magician guys. These like when it's another one's in the scale, you crack this goes to the extra deck, and you put another one on. It's cool. It's mediocre though, because like your best value you're gonna get is overlaying for a Draco thing. So you play 3 of those. That's a 5 scale. Never really comes up too often, except for when you Pendulum Call and set up for it. This is your Oath. That's the 2 scale. It's the one that brings back when someone brings one out of the grave, so it's over recycles. And you play the big guy, who's your 8. This is your main big guy. He usually sits on board because you have Pendulum Call, and he also pops Power Trap. So he's a 7, so that's important. Then for like I play the two Kierans. He's level 6. You summon him. He's probably the best Pendulum besides Joker, but he bounces back the stuff. So like you put him next to like Stronghold, like you put him next to your tech cards and stuff like that, and kind of like levels everything out. One eccentric because every back row is a strike, so get rid of it, and it also gets rid of other weirder cards like that new rank guy. The one Joker because Joker searches on all the magicians. I played 3 Avian because is what made me like the deck. I want people not to be able to play the game, and if I'm not going to play Pepe, which is the superior deck, I'm going to play cards that tell people they can't do things. You can summon this by just scaling, or like so your scales will be met. It's a level 7, and then you can pendulum it. It's really good. So if they don't have a strike, they have to get over it. It's pretty easy to get them out. I play the 3 Hanzo. This is like the weirder things that like made me actually play the deck. I know what you're thinking. Ninjas, Hanzo, horrible. It sucks. But in this deck, you don't have a normal summon besides Joker. So with this, with Hanzo focusing on your normal summon, it's an 18 Dark 2, level 4. So you can, when this is normal summoned, you add a Ninjutsu Art card. So you add this guy, and so this your summons adds this, and then on your opponent's turn, you can activate this. It attributes this as a cost, and special summons a winged beast. And believe it or not, this happens to be a winged beast. So in theory, you're normal summoning this, thinning out your deck, and then special summoning this. So it's like you just get to pendulum this. So it's just like I didn't want to just rely on just drawing the Avian, because I felt like that's just awful. So I want to kind of speed it up, and this replaces it pretty well. Also, it's a Rotus with searchable target, so it's pretty okay. Let's see what's up. And now this is where like your flex spots come in. Like right now, I'm playing 3 Shoguns. Again, like really weird stuff. But Shogun's like currently really good in the format because in Monarchs it gives very limited outs. In Pepe, again, very limited outs. They pretty much have to have like a Draco face-off, and then be able to like remove this with like a Castel or something like that, or Arc, however they want to do it. And by doing that, you have to also assume that you don't have any outs yourself, because when you put this on board, it's usually next to like a Avian or with a strike next to it, so it's pretty fucking difficult. So this 3 spot is part of the flex engine. What I was playing like a week ago was this stuff because I thought it was better. I actually like it a lot. Was Dark Mist and like a mass change or 1 or 2. I hate drawing those cards. I just started playing on one because you only need to resolve this once. But this can like fits in for other places. So this is a Rota target. You can start playing the lore. It's a level 4. You can Pendulum this, and then it grabs this, and then you make the Dark Law. So basically, in theory, like when you're playing the deck, like when I was building it, this would always be on board for the most part. So it's like, what do you want next to this to make it harder for your opponent to play? Ideally, you know, you would like a monster and then a Kieran, but you don't always have a Kieran because that's the unsearchable part. So you have this on board. It's like, what do you want next to it? You can put a Shogun, where your opponent can only activate one spell to trap return. Or you put a Dark Law, where it plucks and everything gets banished. Like, they're both really good and they're both really strong. It just depends on how you want to play it. This is a little more aggressive. The Shogun obviously doesn't have any combo piece, but the good thing about playing a Shogun over the Dark Mist is like you don't dead draw this. But that's why I was literally playing this count, and the Rhoda also grabs it, and it is a dark, so you can make the Evil Swarm Nightmare and the Key Beetle for whatever you want it to be for Floodgates. But I like this a lot. I was playing Bulbman in it, but I drew Bulbman every time I play tested it. I think I drew Bulbman 6 out of 7 games in playtesting out of my opening hand. I don't believe that's ever going to happen again to people, but I did it so many times I just gave a fuck up on it. So that's it for monsters. Like I said, that's your flex engine. That can always move. I have to try to plug it in other things like zombies and stuff, zombie engine and other random things. And I think the Shogun's is the safest meta call right now. And then the Mist, playing Evil Swarm or playing the Mist is really good too. So play Pendulum Call. This is the discard card. Adds 2 your magicians that can't be cracked or destroyed. So it's really good. 3 Wavering Eyes. This card needs to be a 1. This card's very unfair if not banned. This card just devastates games. The 3 Upstarts, because you want to play less cards. You always want to see your engine. And this is part of the flex spot, is the 3 swords. Because this your Shoguns, your Shoguns are 7s, your Apaxes are 7s, and your searchable Pendulum is also 7. I just wanted to play less cards, and this card's pretty good. I was going to play, also people play this with Odd Eyes, but Odd Eyes is absolutely awful card that people need to realize that it's not good. I mean, granted it is searchable with certain things. You have to wait an entire turn to do anything. And in this meta, if you feel like you can wait an entire turn to do anything and you're not playing Pepe, then you're probably just going to lose the next turn, and you're probably really bad at locals. So it's too slow to play. I played the 1 Twin Twister because every back row is a strike, and if it's not a strike, you probably won the game because they're not good. The Rhoda searches out the Hanzo, which makes her Avian, so you search out an Avian. And I played 3 good cards, and this Ninja card. I was playing 2 of it, because you play 3 Hanzos. But, I drew it a lot, times I didn't want to. And it was like the Garnet theory. It's you really only need it once, so hopefully you just don't have it. And mostly you'll get to the Hanzo pretty fast. So that's it for the main deck. That's 40. But like I said, the swords can come out, and the Shoguns come out for stuff like this. And a couple other cards. I like 2 Eccentrics in the deck, but obviously there's no room right now with the swords. Other stuff. In terms of side deck, everything's pretty typical. The deck lets you play Soul Drain. Flying Seas are really good right now. You decide the third Kieran, you get to play Eccentric. Nothing really hurts you. I like Grandhorn a lot, because Grandhorn just stops the when they make Dynaster and puts them in battle phase. And Dynaster is the real problem when you play in Pendulum deck, because when they Wavering Eyes, when you have Wavering Eyes, it just becomes a dead card at that point, because obviously you're going to Pendulum Call. And if you don't Pendulum Call, then you're worried about Wavering Eyes. So if you Pendulum Call, your Wavering Eyes can hit the 2, if anything, but if you don't Pendulum Call and then they have Protected Scales, it gets a little worried. But the best side deck for this is the Stormforts. Stormforts is out to the Destroyer, and that's your worst matchup. It's very hard to win. It's very hard to win the Cosmo matchup, and that's the answer for it. This is the random side deck. So you make a lot of stuff sometimes, but you really only make this guy. This is the Magic Spectre, the Pendulum Search. You can play 7s. I play a Big Eye and a Red Eyes. I never make Red Eyes. I make Big Eye actually, quite often. Yesterday I had Big Eyed Ignister, then spun back cracked mine and spun back his low scale because he just searched a high, and it was pretty good. The Dark Laws for the Mist. I just haven't taken it out. This card's really good. You get to play this. This is Naruto. It's 2 level 6 spellcasters, and you can detach and negate a spell trap when it's activated. So all your stuff, most of your things are spellcasters, and the Magic Spectre Horse guys also. This is your only main deck out to, Destroyer. Unfortunately, like I said, the game 1 matchup is so bad. I've tried to plug in cards. You can play the Dark Holes and Rare Keys, but like it will remove it, but it just reoccurs the same problem. So it's like the best way to like go about the causal matchup is to remove the back row with your searchable scale, eccentric, or the other thing. Make this and kind of just push for game at that point. Because obviously, if you're gonna have it turned out that, you're probably gonna end up pushing through with this card. The Evil Sword Nightmare, which is really good, and Dweller, Arc, Castel, the outs, Emerald because you have room and you don't sometimes you want your shit back. Key Beetle, this card is pretty good. I like this a lot, and Giant Hand just because it's just okay. So that's it for the main deck, or that's the main inside and extra. So like I said, the deck is like for anybody who doesn't have a good deck, it is definitely the better deck to pick up, I guess. I mean, Gold Series is out, but just think like when the ban list happens, like what deck, like it's a very off the radar deck, so you can feel comfortable playing it and be like, oh, when the ban list comes, I mean, the only thing it might get hit is the Waving Eyes, or should get it. So at that point, it's like you just don't really have to worry. You have something good, and it's also just fun being able to plug in like the techie cards, because hey, I drew Shogun. It's good just to play the like the techie cards, because usually like Pendulum decks are very unfair. They get to abuse things, so you can't really do that in Pepe. I mean, you barely do it in. I mean, you were able to summon like, not even like, yeah. Pepe stops. I think the only Pendulum deck that really does it is this deck, and Magic Specters I think don't get to summon anything good because they suck. So it's cool. I like the Shoguns. I like the Shadow Mist. I'd probably play Shadow Mist over the Shoguns, but Shoguns are in there just because the matchup versus Monarchs is like really in your favor. They have to draw very limited outs. They have to draw a summonable monster and a little guy, which doesn't really happen. I mean, they can't really activate the trap because odds are they activated something to get it in the trap. So I mean, and that's again, like I said, if you don't have a strike or an AV on next to it, you just have a Shogun on board for some reason, then plays. So that's it. Comment, sub, like. Apologize for everybody who watches us all the time and never posts videos. We just haven't had anything interesting to talk about, nor really want to talk about things that people are already talking about. I mean, why would we do videos and stuff about stuff that's other YouTubers are already doing? So, what we are going to try to do more content for all those people because we love our fans. Sub, like, comment, and you're